There go BJ with her bell.
Come to order. Ray J has been brought up at the Diddy trial. And it's not just incidental. There's been a lot of fake news swirling about with the Diddy trial. And I've had to make several videos about it because it aggravates me. The thing with the Wendy Williams, fake. Kanye West, fake. Prince, private performance, fake. All fake. Something that wasn't reported on at all was real. And it has to do with Ray J. Okay, the way I found out about this was make it make sense because he's been inside the courtroom. I am live on That Surprise Witness every day, pretty much Monday through Friday. Every day, Monday through Friday for the past several weeks. And, except Memorial Day. Actually, no, there was a Friday and a Monday off. Most days I am live about the Diddy trial. I'm covering the Diddy trial. It's not televised, it's not live streamed. So you have to just read from all these different news sources in real time and try to kind of piece together. And sometimes they disagree with each other. Sometimes one will have a detail the other one don't have. And then together you can kind of get the outline of a situation that maybe might be going on in court. It is the funnest thing to me. Yes, funnest. To hear what people are doing all day while I'm live. They're like, I've been babysitting. Oh, I've been home with my kids sick. My favorite one still so far is this guy. I don't know.
Laying
He said he lays tiles. He's a tile layer. I'm like, yes. So I get into like describing what I'm doing because I just imagine my voice is booming across like somebody's like construction site. Somebody's like flipping a house or something and it's just me talking about Diddy, reading it from like news sources. Anyway, none of them told us about Ray J. I didn't even talk about this. I didn't even know. I get off my live stream. Then I got to go start watching the coverage of the people that's been in the court all day because now they have a different perspective as well. So, Tisa tells and make it make sense. That's the main two that I will watch because they're in there every day. And then there's infamous Sylvia reads the transcripts and so does Down the Rabbit Hole News. And so I'll try to get as much from those sources as possible and then piece together what's going on. And then maybe the next day I'll have an update or whatever. Well, hello, update. We had to come all the way to the other channel because this needs its own moment. Not a single news source. They're reporting on everything else. Every other famous person done got brought up.
Sylvia's son.
Beyonce, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne.
Sonya, that's her name.
Minaj. I mean, they're name dropping everywhere.
That's Ray J's mama's name, Sonya.
Y'all, and shout out to Mims, make it make sense because he's the reason I know. Now I know there's other YouTubers have now mentioned it, but that is how I found out. And so we gotta talk about this. So what happened yesterday, at the time of this recording of this video, yesterday was June 4th, Wednesday, June 4th. It happened on Wednesday, June 4th in the courtroom. Bana was on the stand. Now, we've talked about Bana, I think, on this channel. Her government name is Brianna Bongolan, and she herself sued Diddy already in November last year. So just a few months ago, she sued Diddy. Now, this is the lady that said Diddy dangled her over the side of a 17-story building balcony. And we talked about balconies, and we did a whole balconies video with the Vanilla Ice and all of that. So Bana's the one that was allegedly dangled over the balcony. That is what she alleges. Now, this story, without her name mentioned, had also already been told in Cassie's infamous lawsuit that broke the floodgates open for the Diddy trial to eventually happen.
Yeah.
So Cassie mentions this dangling her friend over the 17th story floor or whatever, the balcony, in her lawsuit, but she didn't use Bana's name. Well, yesterday, Bono came to the stand in the Diddy trial, but she didn't want to. She gets up there on the stand before the jury even comes in. She says, plead the fifth, which means she isn't going to answer any questions on the stand. And she has the right to do that because the Fifth Amendment guarantees you the right. You have the right to stay silent. The reason that you get read that is because the government, if they want to put a citizen in jail, they have to prove their case. And they have to do it without your help. So Bana said, nope, I ain't doing it. Nope. I ain't, sorry, I plead the fifth. I have a right to do that. Well, there is something that can override that right and force you to answer the questions, and that is if you're ordered by the court to do so. However, in order to override the Fifth Amendment right, you have to be promised immunity for anything you say. Now, this is the third person in the trial who's done this. We've seen other people do this. George Kaplan and Eddie Garcia. George Kaplan, former assistant, he testified about some substance
David
activity,
James,
and he didn't want to get charged.
Cassie.
He pled the fifth. He was given an immunity ordered to testify, but given immunity so he won't be prosecuted.
And part of the reason why is because Diddy created criminals. Like, if you worked with Diddy, if you worked for Diddy, you were basically made to be a criminal. So you had to come in there with some kind of immunity in place if they wanted your testimony.
for any crimes based on his testimony. Then there was Eddie Garcia. This is the guy that took a bribe, basically, from Diddy. He signed an NDA, and this was about that tape. Diddy basically spent $100,000 to buy that CNN Intercontinental Hotel footage, and he thought it was the only copy. Clearly it was not, but he paid $100,000 to this guard. And the guard that took the $100,000 and divvied it up, he pled the fifth. He did not want to testify, but he was ordered to. So then yesterday, Bonna, balcony lady, she pled the fifth. They ordered her to testify. However, they gave her immunity. Now, the only way to overcome this immunity, she could still be prosecuted, and that's if she lies. Okay. So it's very important. If you have immunity, you really can't lie, because you might end up going to federal prison based on it. So it's not uncommon whenever people
and
have
the
immunity.
Prosecution determines whether or not you lie. So they're listening very closely to your testimony, and if you tell a lie, the prosecution can take away that immunity. Good morning, Danny. Welcome in.
For to hear them say more often, I don't know, I don't recall, because if they don't specifically exactly recall, like, their behind is now on the line. That is the situation that Bonna yesterday was testifying under. So Diddy's attorneys took full advantage, and they dropped perhaps one of the biggest name drops in the trial, and it wasn't even reported on. Maybe it has been now, but it wasn't during the live streaming of the trial. So Bonna answers her whole first direct questions, direct testimony, and then it's time for Diddy's lawyers to come and ask the cross-examination questions. Nicole Westmoreland, this was one of the lawyers with Brian Steele and the Young Thug case.
One of
she
the better
represented
lawyers.
him very recently, and so she's coming off of a popular celebration of sorts in the media, and she's very good. She's good at her job, for sure. So she reminds Bonna of the immunity thing, and she's like, and you promised to tell the truth, right? And Bonna's like, yeah. And Nicole Westmoreland is like, and who decides if you're telling the truth? And Bonna's like,
She didn't know.
the prosecutors? No, I'm doing a reenactment.
She thought it was the jurors.
There's no cameras in there, but essentially, Nicole Westmoreland, she strategically reminds Bonna she can't lie. She reminds her. She gets her to admit it. So she asks a few questions. She's still, at the time of the recording of this video, ain't done asking the questions from cross-examination. But that brings me to the big 1-2 of this whole video. Nicole Westmoreland says to Bonna, would you remember any of the names of the substance dealers where you were getting all these hundreds of whatever? Bonna said, no, I think it would be hard for me to remember. It was a long time ago. I was on a bunch of substances at that time myself. I've gotten sober now. I really had a very serious problem. All of that. And she's like, so I'm not sure I would remember any of the names of the substance dealers. Nicole Westmoreland says, was one of them Ray J? A pretty distinguishable name. Apparently, according to Mims, and I'm paraphrasing, Bonna was like,
Sonya's son. Sonya and Willie's boy.
Ignorant. Like, I guess maybe that kind of sounds a little like the singer.
The last one to see Whitney alive.
I don't recall. And then Mims put a clip in his video I had never seen before.
That was the night Whitney died.
With Ray J with a jacket up over his head. Come to think of it, maybe it kind of looked like the Kid Cudi outfit he wore to jail. It kind of looked like the It kind of looked like the Kid Cudi outfit he wore to trial. Because it's like, why is he wearing that? But he wore it in a music video before. It was maybe something like that, or maybe he was trying to be like a James Dean or something. Maybe it's because Ray J's running out the hotel where Whitney Houston tragically passed away.
Right.
That's what Mim said. He said, this is Ray J
Right.
scurrying out. Whitney Houston's unalive up there.
Right.
A lot of people were telling me yesterday he had something to do with Whitney Houston was there on the scene of the death, and he was her plug. I was like, y'all are so funny, haha.
No, that's
but
true.
I didn't know he was mentioned. Somebody even told me, because I block AstroTurf accounts or accounts that I...
And for the record, I have not watched this video yet. I saved it to the breakdown playlist for such a time as this. So we're watching it together.
Perceived
Thank you, Danny.
an agenda and not like real human beings that are just genuinely, I just block because I'm scrolling through Twitter all day and it's these same accounts, they keep coming up and it's like, no, I don't just block them. So somebody in my chat was like, dang, you might as well just block Ray J too. And I said I might block Ray J if he starts saying stupid stuff that I can see on my Twitter. But again, I didn't even know at the time Ray J had been, because Nicole Westmoreland asked Bonna, under the penalty of if Bonna lies, she could face prosecution. Her immunity goes away. She's just testified to things that could be perceived
Brandy's
as criminal activities, innocent until proven guilty. But then you have Nicole Westmoreland saying, was one of the drug dealers Ray J? And Vanna kind of like saying she don't recall. It seems like a strategy to me. Anyway, there's drama about it, and I am wondering why in real time nobody was dropping that name like that.
Mind you, Diddy and Ray J have both confirmed that they are very good friends. Ray J was accused of sleeping with Diddy by Suge Knight. Ray J says that is not true. That is categorically false, which don't mean nothing to me, cause you know. But I wanted to make that connection.
It does remind me of Cassie's testimony whenever she was
I hit it first, Ray J.
Party. Like, did you go to the Prince party? And she said, was that around the time of Whitney Houston's death? Yeah, I went to that party. And now we got a Ray J coming out, and the media ain't even really weren't yesterday at the time. Anyway,
because his mama Sonia has a very good relationship with the media. That's Brandy's brother. They've been well protected in LA for a very, very long time. But it has been known for a long time. It has been alleged for a long time that Ray J is a drug dealer. Not just Whitney, before Whitney. Back when he did For the Love of Ray J. I mean, him and all his friends look like it.
I don't know, I just saw it and wanted to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to report that because things are getting lost. The crumbs are getting lost in the couch, if you know what I mean. And this Ray J crumb, I did not want to let it go. So the judge says, okay, we'll see. Miss Shapiro, in your request for the jury instructions, how you want them to be worded, the issue is raised about how the RICO predicate should be addressed, probably arson. Let me refresh your recollection. Anything more before we end? Let me pull up these exhibits the feds say. The judge said, I'm looking at 432. Seems it links the number 7333 with one stop. Diddy's lawyer said, okay, but you still can't say that this is drugs. One stop could be selling in bottles of water.
Is Ray J one stop?
The judge said, okay, fine, what? What does FB stand for? The assistant U.S. attorney said it means football, the shape. Cassie said that the perks were yellow. The defendant's chats with One Stop are not hearsay. So they're trying to put in chats between Diddy and One Stop. This applies to D-Rock chats as well. The judge said, yeah, but that doesn't address what Mr. Driscoll is saying. What Mr. Driscoll is saying, that's Diddy's lawyer, is that, yeah, you can say this is text with One Stop, but you can't say FB means drugs. You got to lay a foundation for that. She said, okay, Your Honor, Exhibit A 432 is a longer chat with references to drugs, including yellow footballs. The judge said, okay, why don't you send that to the court? Then Intercity Press is like, is that going to be docketed? You going to put that on the docket? Probably not. Court adjourned. Crazy. This is crazy. It is 9:46 a.m.
I think Ray J is one stop. Let me share something with you guys. So every once in a while, I will have ChatGPT tell me a story about receiving a tarot card reading about something, especially if I can't get up and go get my cards. So I had ChatGPT, and this is all speculation, okay? This is all speculation at this moment. I had ChatGPT throw a tarot card reading about whether or not Ray J is one stop. Because think about it for a moment. Anytime tarot cards are thrown, they're valid, regardless of whether it's virtual or physical, okay? So I had ChatGPT throw me a tarot card reading, and the tarot card reading was like, Ray J knows who One Stop is. They're very closely connected. So then I was like, okay, continue this reading by revealing to me who One Stop is. And the tarot cards revealed the initials RM, and then revealed the name Reginald Norwood, and said, now this may or may not be true. This is all speculation for entertainment purposes only. But the tarot card reading said Reginald, the RN stands for Reginald Norwood, which is One Stop, which is Ray J's cousin. So of course I looked up Reginald Norwood in connection with the Norwood family. And the AI overview of who Reginald Norwood is, it's giving me chills because it could or could not be true. As I said, it's all speculation to protect my neck. But Reginald Norwood is often referred to as Ryan within the Norwood family and is a cousin to Ray J and Brandy and is also their family's co-manager. He plays a key role in managing their careers and has been involved in their business dealings for many years. Now, we know that ChatGPT has access to all the resources on the internet. So that web could have been drawn by a story, right? Or Reginald Norwood could be one stop. Just put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. I don't know if you guys remember a few months back, I put something on the community tab that said Sonya Norwood has been awful quiet. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston. Because Sonya, but you may or may not know this, you might not be in all the Hollywood tea like this, but Sonya Norwood is Brandy and Ray J's mother. She's also one of their business managers. Like she negotiated Ray J and Princess Love's what's the word I'm looking for? Prenuptial agreement. Like she's deeply in his business. Like every drop of his business goes through her. And so, these are the moments when I'm glad we have a small channel and a small community. I'm gonna ask the question in the smartest way I know how, based on my education. What if Reginald Norwood is one stop, and a lot of this stuff has been going through the Norwood family? Because Sonya Norwood been quiet as fucking. She always got something to say. She didn't say nothing when Whitney died. She was quiet as a church mouse. Interesting. Thanks for letting me muse. I appreciate it. My instinct tells me we need to watch this, so we gonna watch it.
Just seeing if Inner City Press is gonna update anything else. So, yes, no, the R. Kelly.
Thank you, BJ. I appreciate your coverage.
I had no idea, man. That's something new to me, yo. I had no idea you was a pervert.
I grew up in a neighborhood in Carson called Centerview. So that's where we grew up, and everybody adapts to the neighborhood that they from.
See, but that was my rationale.
Y'all both see Ray as the R&B singer.
Yeah.
Ray J Pyro.
Ray J grew up in a Pyro hood in Carson, California. And so yeah, he is affiliated. So I mean, it's just as simple as that.
Ray J was the first blood on the record that was certified. You seen the K Slay interview?
No, what did he say?
So without Ray J, there is no game. Centerview, first Ray J album. Peep that out.
Facts. But what are more facts? Why? What do you mean he'll never take an L? Like he always ends
You
up
like
winning?
Kanye West music, don't you?
Of course I do.
You like Moesha, don't you?
Of course.
You like VH1, don't you?
VH1 is a great channel.
Ray J has had a hand in everything that is current black culture.
Over the years, there's been plenty of talk about Ray J's gang ties, with many doubting the legitimacy of his claims or assuming he's like other celebrities who start repping a gang after they get famous. But it turns out most people might have been wrong. Ray J really seems to have been about that life, with genuine ties to the Peru Bloods.
I had no
I grew up in a neighborhood in Carson called Centerview. So that's where we grew up, and everybody adapts to the neighborhood that they from.
Now, some might say Ray J claiming it himself doesn't prove anything, but a lot of well-known pirates have publicly vouched for him, saying he's truly affiliated.
No, see, that's the problem.
See, but that was my rationale.
Black 100.
See Ray as the R&B singer.
Yeah.
Ray J Pyro.
Ray J grew up in a Pyro hood in Carson, California. And so yeah, he is affiliated. So I mean, it's just as simple as that.
Another thing people love to do online is downplay Ray J's career, dismissing his accomplishments and calling him just Brandy's little brother, because she's the more widely known artist. But those who know Ray J will tell you he's way more than that. He's not only been involved in the streets, but he's also made his mark in the industry in his own way.
Ray J was the first blood on the record that was certified. You seen the K Slay interview?
No, what did he say?
So without Ray J, there is no game. This interview, first Ray J album, peep that out. I was just a youngster.
There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. Ray J, born William Ray Norwood Jr. on January 17, 1981, in Macomb, Mississippi, grew up alongside his older sister Brandy, who was born on February 11, 1979. Their parents, William Norwood Sr., better known as Willie, and Sonia Norwood, came from a family with deep musical roots. The Norwoods are related to notable names in music, like Bo Diddley, Snoop Dogg, and Daz Dillinger, showing that talent runs strong in their bloodline.
I had no idea that you and Snoop, y'all was cousins.
Yeah, Snoop my cousin. We all from Mississippi. We all from Mississippi. Everybody is from anywhere from Greenwood, Jackson.
Raised in a Christian household, both Brandy and Ray J started singing in church.
Christian my ass.
Through their father's work at the Southside Church of Christ. Brandy gave her first gospel solo at just 2 years old, setting the stage for the musical paths they would later pursue. By 1983, the Norwood family relocated to Carson, California, in Los Angeles County, where life would be a stark contrast to their Mississippi upbringing.
And just to give y'all a little insight, my ex-husband's family on his mom's side was Christian Church of Christ. Those are the ones that don't believe in instruments inside the sanctuary. So you will never hear them play the piano or the drums. Now what that ends up being is them motherfuckers can sing. Do you hear me? Them Church of Christ's can sing. And that might be why Brandy has such a perfect ear.
A new environment, one that was heavily influenced by the rising gang culture in LA during the 80s. Willie had lived in LA during the 70s, but by the time the family moved back, the landscape had changed dramatically. Cities like South Central, Compton, Inglewood,
Gardena, that's where I was born.
Carson, where the Norwoods settled, were home to a variety of gangs, including the Crips, Ceranos, and Pirates. The Norwoods ended up in an area controlled by the Centerview Pirates, a neighborhood gang named after Centerview Drive. Their territory included notable streets like 169th Street, also known as the 9 Block, which Ray J would later claim as his own.
I grew up in a neighborhood in Carson called Centerview, so that's where we grew up, and everybody adapts to the neighborhood that they from.
He even released a song called Centerview and performed it on stage alongside Peru members, further solidifying his connection to the gang.
I was just a young boy, raised out in Carson, Ambler Elementary, did a little bit of dirt in turn. Oh, yes.
Despite growing up around gang culture and being tied to the Centerview Pirates, Ray J's life wasn't solely defined by those affiliations. The Norwoods' move to Carson also opened doors for their kids' talents. Willie's work with church choirs and Sonia's managerial career gave Brandy and Ray J opportunities to explore their growing interests in music and acting. By the time Brandy was 11, she had joined a youth singing group and performed at public events, setting the stage for her future success. Meanwhile, Ray J started finding his footing in entertainment as well. By 1989, he was appearing in television commercials for major brands, showcasing his charisma and paving the way for a budding acting career. At just 8 years old, he began auditioning for roles, eventually landing parts that would build his name. One of his early big breaks came in 1993 when he was cast as the foster son in The Sinbad Show, a sitcom that ran until 1994. This experience helped shape Ray J's acting career and further exposed him to the entertainment industry.
Build up my confidence, girl, the next time you come my way.
By 1994, Brandy had skyrocketed to fame with the release of her debut self-titled album, Brandy, which went quadruple platinum. This cemented her as one of the brightest young stars in the industry. While Brandy's star was rising fast, Ray J was just entering his teenage years and carving out his own path. Growing up in a family that was deeply involved in their children's lives and careers, Ray and Brandy were raised in a structured and sheltered environment. Their parents, Willie and Sonia, maintained strict control over their lives, balancing their faith-based upbringing with their blossoming entertainment careers. However, Ray J had a rebellious streak from a young age. While his parents worked to keep him on track, he was curious about the world outside their controlled environment. He wanted to experience life in his community, especially the streets of Carson, where gang culture was a strong influence. Despite his parents' efforts to keep him grounded, Ray J began sneaking out of the house and immersing himself in the local scene. He eventually got involved with the Centerview Pirates, even going through the initiation process to be officially put on. Ray's involvement with the streets included hanging out with gang members, drinking, smoking, and trying to prove himself. This lifestyle clashed with his career aspirations, and it didn't go unnoticed. Several OGs in the neighborhood discouraged him from getting too deep into the gang life, understanding that his career could open bigger doors for him. Ray J has mentioned this conflict in multiple interviews, acknowledging that some people in his hood wanted more for him. Around the same time, his cousin Snoop Dogg was becoming a rap superstar under Death Row Records, and Ray J often found himself sneaking out to hang with Snoop and Daz Dillinger. This connection put him in proximity to prominent figures in the Peru and Blood community, further deepening his ties.
Snoop used to come pick me up, Snoop and Daz, when I was real, when like Brandy had her first album popping. I used to lie to Pops. Snoop and Daz used to pick me up, used to hide under the seat, used to take me to Can-Am every day. Yeah, this shit been going on for a hell of a long time.
He even developed a strong relationship with Suge Knight, the infamous head of Death Row Records, which added another layer to his street credibility. Despite his growing fascination with the streets, Ray J's parents worked hard to keep him focused on his career, keeping him active in acting and recording demos. In 1994, Ray J acted in a TV movie called The Enemy Within. By 1995, things were picking up for him. That year, he signed a deal with Elektra Records and began working on his debut album, Everything You Want. Alongside his music, he continued acting, landing roles in the films Once Upon a Time, When We Were Colored, and, in 1996, Mars Attacks. Meanwhile, Brandy's career reached new heights. In 1996, she landed her own sitcom, Moesha, which became a cultural phenomenon. Ray J occasionally appeared on the show in its early episodes, playing various roles. This was a big moment for the Norwood family, as Brandy's success elevated their status in the entertainment industry even further. In 1997, Ray J finally released his debut album, Everything You Want. While the album didn't achieve major commercial success, it gave Ray J his first real taste of the music business. The lead single, Let It Go, was featured on the Set It Off soundtrack and reached number 25 on the US charts and number 11 in New Zealand. The album's second single also charted, peaking at number 54 on the US R&B chart. During this time, Ray J made appearances on popular shows like All That and Soul Train, promoting his music and keeping his name in the spotlight. Although he put in the work, Everything You Want didn't perform as expected, and Ray J was eventually dropped from Elektra Records. After taking a few years off from the spotlight, Ray J made his return to the industry in 1999. That year, he appeared in the TV movie Aftershock Earthquake in New York and landed one of his most memorable roles on his sister's hit show, Moesha. Playing Dorian Long, Brandy's on-screen cousin, Ray J, joined the cast as a series regular, bringing his charm and personality to the show. He remained a central figure on Moesha for multiple seasons until the show ended in 2001.
A long time ago, I made a mistake.
A mistake?
No, not like that.
When Moesha wrapped, Ray J shifted his focus back to music. He took a significant step by creating his own record label, Knockout Entertainment, and releasing his second album, This Ain't a Game, in 2001. Unfortunately, the album didn't achieve the success Ray J had hoped for, and his music career hit a standstill. However, he didn't let this slow him down entirely. Between 2001 and 2005, Ray J kept busy with his acting career, appearing in shows and movies like The Proud Family, Intimate Portrait, Punk'd, Soul Train, and One-on-One. These roles kept his name circulating in the entertainment world and allowed him to continue building his brand. In 2005, Ray J made a significant comeback in music with his third studio album, Radiation. This album marked a turning point in his career, as it included the smash hit One Wish, which became a major success and his signature song. The emotional ballad showcased Ray J's vocal abilities and climbed the charts, cementing his place in the R&B world.
I'll be okay if I get one. If I had one wish would be best.
The album also featured the track
Not that run he did on Versus though, that was some bullshit.
And shared more of his story growing up around the Centerview Pirates.
I was just a young boy, raised out in Carson, Ambler Elementary.
With Radiation, Ray J finally found the musical success he had been working toward for years. But with fame came controversy. In February 2007, a private home video Ray J had recorded with his ex-girlfriend Kim Kardashian back in 2003 was leaked and sold as Kim Kardashian Superstar.
Wait a minute, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to say a private home video when we know already now, and Ray J made it very plain to us that what that old pimp's name? Kris Jenner orchestrated that whole thing. She made them retape that sex tape because she didn't like the lighting, so she made them go from Los Angeles to Miami and film it in Miami instead. That wasn't no private sex tape, private encounter that was leaked. No, that was business. That was human trafficking. That was sex trafficking. That was forced labor. That was prostitution at the hands of Kris Jenner and against her own daughter. We're not going to sit here and tell that lie. That ain't how it's going to go down in history. Sorry.
Quickly gained notoriety. While Kim initially sued to block its release, she eventually settled for a reported $5 million, and the video became a pivotal moment in boosting her public profile. At the time, Kim was relatively unknown, but the scandal brought her into the limelight and helped launch her path to fame. Despite the drama, Ray J kept moving forward. Knockout Entertainment announced a lucrative album deal with Coke Records and Shaquille O'Neal's Deja 34 Entertainment. Under this deal,
Coke
Ray J
Records
released his fourth studio album, All I Feel, on April 1st, 2008. The album featured collaborations with artists like The Game and Youngberg. Its lead single, Sexy Can I, featuring Youngberg, was a huge success, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and staying in the top 10.
Now, just to complete the circle, Youngberg was one of the most recent guys to say Diddy tried to fuck him, yet he just not saying it.
6 weeks. The music video, directed by R. Malcolm Jones, further boosted the song's popularity. Around this time, Ray J also ventured back into acting, starring in the film Dark Christmas, directed by Deon Taylor. Following the success of All I Feel, Ray J took a break from releasing music and shifted his focus to television. In 2009, he launched his own VH1 reality dating show For the Love of Ray J. The show, which premiered on February 2nd, 2009, followed Ray J as he navigated the world of love and relationships with a cast of contestants vying for his heart. The first season was a hit, leading to a second season that aired in 2010. That same year, Ray J teamed up with Brandy for a new VH1 reality series, Brandy and Ray J, A Family Business. Premiering in April 2010, the show gave fans a behind-the-scenes look at their lives, careers, and their families' entertainment ventures. The series also highlighted the siblings' growing roles in their family's management and production company R&B Productions, as they worked alongside their parents to expand their empire.
It's been crazy, on top of every chart, in every magazine, successful television show. I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful that success has also found my little brother, Ray J.
Ray J's life in the 2010s continued to be a roller coaster of fame, music, acting, and controversies. In September 2011, he found himself in the middle of a public feud with rapper Fabulous. It all started when Fabulous tweeted about a scene from a documentary on Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Victor Ortiz, poking fun at Ray J for playing his song One Wish on the piano at Mayweather's house. Ray J didn't take the comment lightly and confronted Fabulous in Las Vegas, allegedly punching him in the face before being arrested. The incident happened just before Fabulous was set to perform at the Palms Casino. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, Ray J explained that he was offended because he played piano at Mayweather's house every day and viewed Floyd as his big brother. He went on to demand an on-air apology from Fabulous, even threatening him, saying he'd smack him again.
When you want to disrespect me and the money team, and we got 7 Rolls Royces outside and we just made 350 racks on the... Don't disrespect me. I'm gonna smack you up again, fool.
Celebrities like 50 Cent, Kevin
So
Hart,
we gon' just ignore the whole Booty Goons threat. We just gonna ignore the whole thing about him saying he was gonna send some booty goons to Fabulous. He got some dudes that like to take it. We just not gonna talk about that. Oh, I guess we trying to stay monetised.
witnessed the confrontation. Years later, Ray J reflected on the incident, taking full responsibility for his actions. He admitted he felt terrible about what had happened and shared that he went through a period of depression while trying to understand why he had acted that way and how he could grow from the experience. In early 2012, Ray J became entangled in more drama, this time surrounding the tragic death of Whitney Houston. Whitney passed away on February 11, 2012, from what the coroner ruled as accidental drowning. Ray J, who had been in San Diego at the time, rushed to the Beverly Hilton Hotel upon hearing the news. While there,
no. Ray J went in Whitney Houston's hotel room while she was still alive to deliver her some drugs, allegedly. He was the last person to see her alive, allegedly. Who the fuck wrote this video?
Raged after overhearing a police officer make a disrespectful comment about Whitney, prompting him to try to force his way into her hotel suite before being restrained. Ray J had been close to Whitney in the last years of her life, which sparked rumors of a romantic relationship
between them. She and he were in a romantic relationship, allegedly. I'm only saying that to protect myself. But y'all know I don't just say shit. If you gonna tell the truth, tell the truth.
Always maintained that they were just friends. The speculation persisted. Following her death, Brandy described her brother as being deeply distraught and disconnected.
I really miss my friend. You know, I really do. I'm still hurting.
In May 2012, Ray J was rushed to the hospital after being found unable to get out of bed. Reports suggested this was related to the emotional toll of Whitney's passing, compounded by an alleged confrontation at the Billboard Music Awards with Whitney's sister-in-law, Pat Houston. By 2013, Ray J was back in the spotlight, but not without more controversy. That year, he released the provocative single, I Hit It First.
No, stop lying. That was an overdose. Y'all remember on that one episode of Love and Hip Hop LA, thank you, Lisa, when Ray J had an overdose and was taken to the hospital and then decided to stop doing drugs and stop drinking and stop going so hard. Who wrote this fucking video, Sanitizing History? Because I remember all of it.
Which was widely interpreted as a diss track aimed at his ex-girlfriend Kim Kardashian. The song referenced their infamous S-tape, and the music video even featured a Kim lookalike. While the song gained attention and became a minor hit.
Now, why would Ray J write a diss song against Kim Kardashian called I Hit It First? That don't even make sense. Because that song was actually written against Kanye West, not Kim Kardashian.
Reignited public criticism of Ray J and his willingness to leverage past relationships for publicity. The same year, Ray J found himself in a conflict with rapper Bad Az, with whom he had previously been on good terms. The feud reportedly escalated into a physical altercation, adding to his list of public disputes. In 2014, Ray J made headlines again, this time for an incident at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel in Beverly Hills. A woman accused him of inappropriately touching her, prompting hotel staff to call the police. Though authorities deemed the contact incidental, Ray J was asked to leave the hotel. He reportedly became irate, claiming he had spent tens of thousands of dollars at the hotel. In the ensuing confrontation, he allegedly spat at an officer and kicked out the window of a police car while being arrested. He faced multiple charges.
Sounds like a freak off to me.
Including vandalism, resisting arrest, and battery against a police officer, and was released on $20,000 bail. The situation escalated further when prosecutors added a sexual battery charge, claiming Ray J had intentionally touched the woman's intimate areas for sexual gratification. Ray J pleaded not guilty to all charges in August 2014. That same month, he was stopped by police in the San Fernando Valley for allegedly using his phone while driving. Ray J argued that he was only trying to connect his Bluetooth, and the officers ultimately let him off with a warning. However, he later claimed the officers were more interested in taking photos with him than issuing a citation, leading the
Now, the only reason why you go to San Fernando Valley is to get some drugs drop off some drugs or to film a porn video. What was he doing there?
Investigation into the encounter. While Ray J has had his share of controversies over the years, he's also made significant moves in business and entertainment that showcase his entrepreneurial side. As the founder of Raytronics, Ray J introduced a range of consumer electronics to the US market, including electric bikes, smartphone fans, and smartwatches. One standout product was the Scoot e-bike, a foldable, eco-friendly electric bike. The Scoot e-bike brand took off thanks to a smart viral marketing strategy that relied heavily on celebrity endorsements and organic social media buzz. Big names like Sean Diddy Combs, his sister Brandy, and even professional teams like the LA Clippers helped shine a spotlight on the product, which grew exponentially in popularity. In November 2017, Ray J took his business acumen to the next level by co-founding a direct-to-consumer electronics brand called Raycon. The company specializes in wireless audio products, including earbuds and headphones, and has become a massive success. Ray J has been hands-on with the brand, overseeing its strategy and growth. Raycon's sleek and affordable products have made them a hit, particularly with younger consumers, and the company's direct-to-consumer model allowed it to thrive in the competitive tech market. Outside of his business ventures, Ray J's career in entertainment is nothing short of prolific. Over the years, he's been involved in more than 50 shows and movies, building a resume that spans acting, reality television, and music. Some people respect his hustle, others might not, but there's no denying he's left his mark.
And he recently did a video where he was walking by that same pool he threw Princess Love in, and said it was a few niggas he wanted to fuck, P. Diddy being one of them. But y'all, so I came across that video when I was doing research on Reginald Norwood, who is, hold on, let me make sure I get it right. Reginald Norwood is a business manager, very, very fiduciarily connected to Ray J. Not only is he probably, he's his cousin, first of all, but he also is connected to the business. And ChatGPT basically predicted via a virtual tarot card reading that Reginald Norwood, aka Ryan, aka RN, is aka One Stop. I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find